right now, as it stands from the beginning throughout this process, what is TCOLE's role in this?
Okay. Well, you know, in '01, when they created it, we weren't involved from '01 to '09. And from that point on, it was very obvious to us, and in looking at it in retrospect and how it was all set up, it's set up with an element of local control. Okay. Who these departments are supposed to be answering to is their local governing body. And that's the way it was created in '01, and lasted that way up through '09. And so it was a local control issue. And it almost has to be because of how extensive, if you look at Austin, and you can say, well, you can look at the population percentages and this and that, but and if you want to look at it as a whole, maybe gives you part of an answer. But if you're looking for especially specific times or specific officers that are not doing this correctly, there are a lot of other factors that come into play. Where do they work in the town? You know what I'm saying? And that's going to play into how those statistics work out. So it was all meant to be on local control. Well, in '09, and I've had some discussions with authors of a lot of this and the original bill and on up. And in '09, what happened, they were finding out that chief administrators weren't following through as effectively as was originally intended by the legislature. And part of that was there was no real teeth in it. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to hold them accountable for this? At what level, and how are they going to hold them accountable? So the senator that I spoke with on this, his idea was, okay, chief administrators are accountable to TCOLE. So let's ensure that they're at least creating the report so that, and yes, it's still a local control issue. It still needs to be the oversight of it, the putting together and reporting needs to be, as far as what happens, needs to be on a local control issue, but let's make sure they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So '09 built us into the picture as a repository because they knew that if they put it in statute, that they have to make that report to us as well as to the local governing body, that we have the teeth to say, you've got to get that report done. You've got to get it done on time, and you've got to get it sent in, because we do have a handle. You know, we can come in and I can actually take action against the chief administrator's license that refuses to do this. I can come in and actually suspend their license, and where they can't be chief, they can't even be a peace officer if they do that. Or we can even come in, there are administrative penalties that can be assessed on this. So there's some teeth behind making sure the report gets done. Okay. And in my talks with them, it was very clear that was what they wanted from TCOLE. Now, I will tell you, in subsequent sessions, I've had dialogue with legislators, some of the primary legislators and some of the drafters of this, to say, just so that we're all on the same page, we don't check the validity of those. And we don't have the authority to go in and check that if the Waco Police Department sends us a racial profiling report, then we're going to go in and make sure that report's accurate, that you haven't fudged the numbers, you haven't done this and that, because that's a whole different story that would require a huge amount of state resources to do. And we're happy to do that if that's what you want us to do, but we don't have the authority to do that. And that's all done on a local level, where once again, you don't have as much of a handle, and they understand that, and it has been maintained that way since that time. So throughout this process, it's built on a local control governance and not on a state governance. And our role in that has been, from '09 up till now, to be the repository. It serves a couple of purposes. Number one, we ensure compliance. We make sure, and we've had very, very good compliance, because I've got a staff member that stays on the phone constantly with chiefs and chief administrators, pushing them to get these reports in, and reminding them and helping them any way that we can. Because some of the smaller agencies, they're not sure how to do this. They don't have the computer. I've got agencies that I've dealt with agencies for years that don't even have a computer. You know what I'm saying? in far West Texas, and we've got to help them through that. We're going to make it doable for them, but our role is to ensure that report gets done, and then it's up to local governance to ensure that it is the validity and the accuracy of it. We don't have the resources nor the authority to begin to look at that. But what that also provides by it coming to us as a repository is we can regurgitate that back out. You see what I'm saying? If you have a question about the Austin Police Department or the Lago Vista Police Department and what is their racial profiling, say we give you a location, a source where you know you can go in to get that report because it's come in. Okay, so that's our role in this, is to ensure the report gets done, and then to be able to be a source for that to go back out to interested parties that want to see it.